Hey, what's up, KMA Land? KMA Sports Director Derek Martin, alongside with KMA Assistant Sports Director, Junior Sports Director Turner Martin. Earlier this year, right before football season, I wrote a little preview on Class A District 8. I said, I like what East Mills has coming back with Tupper and Jennings leading the way, so I feel like they could have a good shot at the third or the fourth spot. On one hand, that's pretty good for me guessing that because not a lot of people expected them to be this good this early. On the other hand, I might not even be close. They might be competing for the district championship. Actually, there's no might about it. They're 4-0. They're rated in the top 10. Turner likes it. And I had an opportunity to go to East Mills and talk with their head coach, Andy Irwin, and four of those seniors, Travis Tupper, Colby Jennings, two guys I already mentioned, also David Howell and Michael Story. Today's word is seniors because, well, they're all seniors. All right, we're talking with Andy Irwin, head football coach, East Mills coach. 4-0 heading into a big road trip, tough contest against Logan Magnolia. But going back at the beginning of the year, coming off of, I think, 4-5 last year, missed the playoffs. I guess coming into this year, what was, was this something you felt that this group could strive to achieve, to be 4-0 at this point and rated in the top 10?
Yeah, last year we had a lot of injuries, and we did have a lot of younger kids that we were playing, and it was just something that we knew the kids that we were going to have back. We knew they were going to work hard over the summer. We knew that what they were going to do to get ready for the year. But it's always different when you start the season, and your expectations and the kids' expectations start to take shape. And so we're real happy with the progress that the kids have made so far.
One of the big things I talked with you a couple of weeks ago about was the transition from 8-man to 11-man. This is your second year in 11-man. Can you talk to that a little bit and how that's kind of, you guys all feel comfortable, even yourself?
Yeah, and it's interesting because when we first started coaching 8-man, the question was, what do you like doing better, 8-man or 11? And it took a year or two, and next thing you know, we're saying we like coaching 8-man. We had the conversation again yesterday at the JV game. What do you like doing better? And now we're starting to say, 11-man's getting to be a little bit better. So, really what it comes down to is when you got kids that work hard and, you are accomplishing things, it really doesn't matter whether it's 8 or 11. It's about what the students are trying to accomplish.
Perfect, example for tailoring your talent to your schemes, I guess, offensive-wise. When you were here before, Jake Bolton and Jake and Mr. Schaefer himself, Luke Schaefer, two always passing the ball. Now you're running the ball quite a bit with Colby. I mean, you have struck a little balance there with Logan Kieran at quarterback, but I guess you saw Colby back there. You said we got to give him the ball.
Yeah, we also give a lot of credit to our offensive line. We've in the past we've had very fast kids that were very good finesse players, and so we felt like doing screens, pass blocking was in our favor. This year we've got some kids who really just want to mash it up, and we've got the running back to do it, and those kids want to get after it, and so why fight it if they want to do it? But it has been a very good surprise for us and a very good thing for us that Logan's emerged as being someone who can pass the ball, and our receivers have stepped up to catch the ball, and given the opportunity, if they are taking away the run, we do have that ability, and that's something that's a luxury that often you don't have one way or the other, especially in high school, small school.
Yeah, let's talk about that line a little bit. We're going to talk with David Howell here in just a little bit, but you got some big guys there for a Class A group.
Yeah, David Howell's by far one of our most aggressive kids that we have, and works hard, just gets after it every game. You can expect every play that he's going to go 100%. Colton Story is another guy that we have on the line that's really come through for us. He was injured a lot last year as well. He's a junior, but he's done a very good job. Judd Majors, you can't say enough about him. He's kind of underrated, but he's just a real strong kid. We can oftentimes block the nose guard with one person with him. And we've had a sophomore emerge as a good player in Daniel Smith. So we've been very fortunate. A lot of kids stepped up.
Defensively, it looks like I love talking about offense, obviously, and you guys have put points on the board. But defensively, I was just looking at your tackles for loss. Pretty unbelievable. Everybody seems to have 4 or 5 or 6 tackles for loss. You guys, people aren't getting a lot of yards on you.
Yeah, and a lot of that has to do with our defensive line. David Howell starts everything from the nose guard spot, and he's a tough kid to block. You look at him and you wouldn't think he's a very quick guy or very speedy guy, but he's surprisingly quick off the ball. His aggression obviously is good on defense, and I've got a couple different guys that we can put, but Colton Story again on the other side does a great job off the ball. And when the defensive line is really taking care of things up front, and you have a linebacker like Michael Story, it's really difficult to block. So they do a great job of flying to the ball. If the defensive line doesn't get, a lot of times our linebackers are coming up quick enough. And Jennings is a good linebacker too. You kind of overlook him as a linebacker because of what he does as a running back, but he's also a good defensive player. Logan
Magnolia, we got to talk about them. Obviously, they've had great success last decade or so under Coach Strait, and coming off of a tough loss. So I'm guessing you'll probably get their best punch.
Yeah, in Riverside, when we played them, the score did not indicate how tough that game was. They're a very physical team. They're very big, very aggressive. They get after it. But Logan will always be well coached, and they've got a great tradition. They're going to get after it, and that they can't be very happy with that loss. And we've told our kids that to expect that coming into this week.
They run, and then over the top. That Wells kid has like 15 catches the last 2 years and 13 of them for touchdowns or something like that. How do you, instill the discipline in your kids to be able to handle something like that?
It's something that you rep up, and you can't do it the week of. It's got to be from day one of your camp and day one from when the kids step in there as a freshman. They got to know that if they're a corner, it's pass first. And then they have to read their keys and understand what we're doing defensively. And that's really what it comes down to for us.
Kind of helps that you have the D-line and the linebackers that you have to kind of handle that. But, Coach, thanks a lot. Appreciate it. We'll be talking with some kids here in a bit. Yep. All right, we're talking with a couple of seniors here for East Mills, undefeated 4-0. It's Travis Tupper and Michael Story. Now, first of all, Travis, we got to talk about your kicking ability. I've seen you out there on the track. I had no idea that you were the kicker that you are. Tell us about your kicking history, how you came to just get into kicking, and how you're able to boot those things. You want to step up here?
All right. Well, I played soccer for about 7 years from kindergarten to 7th grade, and then I gave that up and started football in 7th grade my first year, and I just took right up on kicking because I'm so used to kicking the soccer ball that the football just felt natural, and since then I've just been getting better and better and working at it, and I attended a kicking camp over the summer, and that really helped a lot. So
obviously you're soccer style, right? You don't have the big block toe, but last week Coach lines you up for a 50-yarder. What are you thinking when you're going up there?
I'm pretty confident about 50-yarders. I kick them every day in practice, so it's not.
They said it probably would have been good from about 60. So, is there a point where you think Coach is going to call you out there, you're going to be kicking right on the 50-yard line?
That may be a possibility. It just depends. He said he wants me to have a little win, but I think I can do it.
Obviously, being 4-0, being rated in the top 10. What are you guys rated, by the way? I'm just checking to see if you guys knew what you were rated. But anyway, rated in the top 10, 4-0 at this point. Start of the season, you come in, you're playing the Shenandoah team. They got a lot coming back. They got high expectations. And then you kind of went out there and smacked them in the mouth a little bit, I guess. Was that a surprise to you, these expectations? Do you guys expect to be 4-0 at this point?
We weren't really sure how we were going to be this season. We just knew that we had a good offense with Coach Schaefer coming back. He really knows what he's doing, calling plays. He's good at that. But, on the forums and stuff, a lot of people picked us to lose against Shenandoah, so we didn't really know how it was going to be, especially after last year's loss. So,
senior class. Obviously, a lot of the guys in this group that are contributing this year are seniors. I guess tell us about this group and how long you guys obviously been together for a while. But did you win a lot of football games coming up? I guess is what I'm trying to ask.
Yeah, we were very successful in junior high and JV games, and all us seniors are really good friends, and we've known each other since the schools combined. We all get along good. So,
Michael Story, a terrific linebacker. I was just talking with you before. You have 58 tackles. That's 25 more than anybody else on the team. You're just hogging all the tackles. What's that all about?
We always have a good defensive plan. I have good defensive linemen in front of me that take up more blockers. So there's usually a clear path for me.
That's what Coach Irwin was kind of talking about. It's kind of a decision that you have to make. David Howell, you're gonna double David Howell and leave you open, or are they gonna single David Howell? I guess talk about that. The defensive game plan, is that pretty much just have the line eat up the blockers and you chase it back down?
Yeah, we'll have three linebackers or three linemen, so like they have to double them. Then we have a key for me that I just read and then I go with it.
Obviously, you came off a big year from last year, too. I think you were an all-state choice by Des Moines Register, maybe some other publications as well. Do you have some sort of set individual tackle goal in your mind?
Beat last year's.
What was that?
108 tackles.
108. So you're well on your way to that. How about the success of the team this year? Colby Jennings has got a lot of headlines, and then, of course, you've got the tackles, Travis Tupper kicking the field goals, and then Logan Curran a week or so ago is throwing for 200 and some yards. It seems like everybody's pretty much doing something.
Yeah, everyone's doing their job and just doing what the coaches expect of them.
What about you on the offensive side of things? East Mills a couple years ago, all you guys did was pass. Now all you do is, well, not all you do is run. You run quite a bit, and now you're kind of are you tight end?
Yeah.
And so I guess, would you like to see a few more balls in the air?
I hope so, yeah. I like catching them. We're a little bit more balanced this year than past year.
Taking a look at, I guess, goals the rest of the way. Sitting here 4-0, you've been really dominant. You've got a tough Logan team coming up, Logan Magnolia. What are some goals for you guys at this point?
Well, we want to make it to the playoffs first of all, and then just see what happens from there.
All right, Michael Story and Travis Tupper going to have David Howell and Colby Jennings in here just a little bit. Thanks a lot, guys.
Thank you.
Okay, a couple other seniors here, Colby Jennings and David Howell over here to my right. Colby, pretty much all you've been doing is lighting up the ground game throughout you started off with that big game against Shenandoah at the beginning of the season. You have, I think, 70-some carries already through 4 games. 2 years ago, when you were on this East Mills team, did you ever imagine there would be 70 carries for anybody at any point in any season?
I wouldn't have guessed it. We just threw the ball all the time when we were 8, man. Didn't think it'd change any.
But it obviously has. I guess talk about your season to this point. You've, like I said, you've been putting up some big numbers. What do you attribute that to?
Well, our line got really big this year. Having David back's just a great thing.
Yeah, obviously, David, you were out last year with an injury, and obviously making a big difference there on the both offensive and defensive line. What's it like blocking for a guy like Colby?
It's great, and it's not just me either. We have a good line around and just having Colby be able to run the ball good is great because, I mean, it takes more than one guy to take him down, so even if we miss a guy, sometimes you don't even have to worry about it.
You haven't missed anybody yet, though, have you?
No, I haven't.
Coach Irwin was talking about your quickness. He said you don't really look like a guy who can be quick, but anybody who's seen you wrestle, they know that you're you have some pretty good quickness out there. Tell us about your defensive game and what you kind of want to get done. Obviously, you're getting into the backfield quite a bit.
Yeah, all my coach really wants me to do is just get back there as fast as I can. If I don't make the tackle, I don't make the tackle, just as long as I'm messing the play up, and that helps enough. And usually they have to double team me, so that leaves Michael on block, so it helps him make a lot of tackles too. So
yeah, he's had quite a bit here so far, just 4 games. We were just talking about that, but Colby, you mentioned anyway the effect of David being back there on the line for you. I guess can you try to put into words the effect that he's had in the rest of the line? I mean, it's a tight unit.
Yeah, they're just great blockers. Everything about them's amazing.
What would you say? What kind of runner are you, for those who haven't seen you? I mean, you like to run through people, like to run around people, or like to do both?
I mainly like to just try to run them over.
Shenandoah, you did quite a bit of that to start the season. You've done it progressively since then. Was that win against Shenandoah to start there? I mean, Shenandoah had a lot coming back from a team that just missed the playoffs, had a lot of expectations, I guess. Beating them, was that a surprise to you? Was that what you expected to do? And has that kind of been a jump start to what has so far been a good year for the first 4 games?
I wouldn't say it's like a big surprise. We knew we could beat them. I mean, last year I think we could have won if David didn't get hurt in the first 3 plays or something. But it was a great start to the season. It just really helped.
East Mills has won a lot of football games over the last 5, 6, 7 years under Coach Irwin and Coach Schaefer for the 1 year. What are your goals at this point? Sitting at 4-0, being rated in the top 10, what kind of goals are you guys talking about? I mean, I'm sure you guys sit around and just talk about what could happen with the talent you guys have.
We just want to try to win the district. Got good districts. It's going to be hard to beat Griswold, AHST, and Loma this week.
It is. We've talked a lot about how strong this District 8 is, David. You'll get a good taste of that this week going to Logan Magnolia, a team coming off of a tough loss. And sometimes a team you see, they lost to Riverside. You guys kind of beat Riverside pretty well. What kind of mindset are you taking in there that against this Logan Magnolia team?
I don't really want to think about it like that too much because I don't want to get too big of a head about it. But I just kind of think that it's in any given night, any team could win. It doesn't really matter. So we just look at their strengths and try to find a way to defeat them so we can make sure that they can't do anything against us. So I'm pretty confident.
The senior class has won a lot of games going back a couple of years, freshman, sophomore year. And the four guys I'm talking to today, you and Colby and then Travis and Michael, also all seniors, I guess. Can you talk about this group growing up together, playing a lot of different sports together? How tight you guys are?
I say we're pretty close. We've been playing football since we were in 4th grade, so it's pretty tight.
Any of these guys you don't like?
No.
Colby, you all right with Colby?
Yeah, he's all right.
Colby, Logan Curran kind of emerged a couple of weeks ago, passing-wise. I know he got hurt this past week, but what does that do for you with a passing game?
It helps me a lot with them knowing that Logan can throw the ball, Travis can catch it and run. It's just helps free up the running game a lot.
I know might see a backup quarterback this week, Mr. Jake Schaefer. If anybody remembers that name, Luke Schaefer was a pretty good. He was okay. What kind of confidence you have in Jake? Another senior.
I have complete confidence in Jake. Don't think we're gonna miss a beat with him in.
Guys, thanks a lot. Appreciate it. Good job. Good start. 4-0. We'll meet you here in another 4 games. All right.